Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations, episode 19
hello.
of Imperial Assault overview for skirmish mode. Today we're going to focus on Jyn Odan. As usual, it's myself, Pete, in the car.
Yep.
And yeah, let's just get cracking into it.
Just coming back from Oak Games in York. Nice little shop run by an old pal of ours, Hall.
Good event.
Well,
good event.
Co-run, I think. And yeah, nice little event. Got smashed up though. Won one game, lost two. Never mind, eh?
You can't win them all.
Royal Guard champ. Had to face him twice today.
Oh.
I'm still gutted.
We'll talk about him one day.
Yeah.
So let's jump into Jyn Odan. So this is one of the original.
She's an Odan.
She's one of the original characters who was in the base game.
Yeah.
She costs 5 points, so lots of people are probably very familiar with her already.
Quick as a whip.
5 points. She's unique, rebel only, and she has the smuggler keyword, and that's it, just smuggler. She has 6 health, which is okay. So she costs 6 health. Speed 5.
Nice.
So she's pretty quick. Defense 1 white die, which is normal for smuggler or spy, and attack 2 green, which is pretty
strange.
Pretty strange. Yeah, usually people have a kind of a better range.
Yeah.
But like she's guaranteed 2 sets of range there because green has a 1 to 3 on it, so that's okay.
So it's what, 2 to 6? She's shooting.
2 to 6, yeah. Which is very interesting. But then her surge abilities, this is even more interesting. She's got 2 sets. For a surge, she'll get stun and pierce 1, or for a surge, she'll get +2 accuracy and +2 damage.
See, her surges are awesome, aren't they?
Her surges are brilliant. Like the stun and pierce 1. If she can get 2, I don't know what they.
She's armed with a DH-17. I'm going to guess at the name, which
right.
In Battlefront is the best, one of the best pistols going. At short range, and this is the fluff of the gun, I'm fluff straight into fluff. Short range, this decimates people, and that's why she's got not much range, but God, if you get the surges, you're going to wreck somebody, aren't you?
She can really do it. For 5 points, I actually think she's a pretty good character. I mean, I've used her a good few times, and every time I've always actually thought she was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. But she's not a mainstayer such as Gideon and 3PO because she isn't quite defensive enough.
Yeah.
And she does have a few downfalls, but we'll talk about the rest of her character.
She dies a lot, but more often than not, excuse me, I'm worn out. As an opponent of her many times, she's tricky to get hold of and kill, which we'll see why in a minute. So
her abilities are hair trigger. At the start of a hostile figure's activation, you may interrupt to perform an attack. You may interrupt to perform an attack that targets that figure. Limit once per round. So she can interrupt to target just the person who is shooting at her.
Yep. So if anybody dares activate in her line of sight, they're getting shot, basically. With my stormtrooper list, more often than not, that's one dead stormtrooper.
A dead stormtrooper.
Which is infuriating, and I keep forgetting that she can do that.
And what's even more annoying is her next part of that, because she's also got nimble. After an attack targeting you is resolved, gain 2 movement points for each of your surge results.
Surge block, yeah.
So people are shooting at her and she's just getting further and further away from you.
Yeah. Rolling around on the floor.
Which I quite like about her, because it feels like she can actually walk further and further. 3PO with her is brilliant because obviously,
he adds a surge. Surge cancel.
So she's just like, I'll just keep on walking away. And then she's also got cunning. While defending, apply +1 defense to the defense results for each surge block result. 3PO again.
Yeah, so a surge cancels, which you can get one off.
3PO gives her
counters blocks, yeah.
A block and lets her move. So she's got a lot going for her, to be honest.
Yeah.
For 5 points, I feel like she's very strong. I quite enjoy taking her in a kind of like I took a rebel spam list against you. 11 deployments or something. It was good fun, and she actually was one of the key characters. I felt like she's a damage dealer.
Yeah.
And she's kind of got 2 shots. She's got 2 shots in a turn because she's got the hair trigger. I'm a fan of her because I like the way all her abilities don't cost her anything to do.
Yeah.
It's not like it costs an activation, and she is fundamentally quite straightforward in how you position her or place her.
Yeah.
her downfall is when, let's talk about stormtroopers then. What you'll do is you'll activate the back stormtrooper first and walk him forwards and then shoot her.
Yeah.
What'll happen is, because the back guy activated first, then she can't activate and do the hair trigger at the start of the turn.
Yeah, because he's already marching towards.
Because he's already walked there.
Yeah.
And then when he's done that, then the guy who she could see before is now blocked. So then he activates.
Stormtrooper cycle, yeah.
So it's quite an easy way to avoid her little trick there.
Do I ever remember that bit? No.
Well, there is that, but also...
I will from now on.
But that cycle doesn't necessarily work, because the stormtroopers move forwards and do that, and then they shoot her, and then she gets a surge block, and then she moves, into a place where she can't shoot.
If there's anybody else to shoot, you're pretty much shooting them first, you know, because she just rolls away, and she's very hard to hit, pin down.
Yeah, she's good. I don't know how well she works in a trooper list. One of her bad points, I think.
She's not doing anything for the troopers though around.
No, she's not. One of her bad points is she's a smuggler keyword, and I feel like the smuggler and spy seem to be on the same level, like in terms of if you're taking them, take them all. But she doesn't help out with the leader and trooper. She's not giving anything to it.
Yeah.
Apart from and I'm just talking about the meta right now, that every other category seems to be a lot stronger. They've toned down on Brawler a lot more at the moment.
Yeah, it's the returns on the keywords on the command cards. I mean, Trooper is massive.
Trooper
Brawler's
is huge, yeah.
up there, but you know, it takes a bit more finesse to use a Brawler list, I think. And Spy is probably the lowest one for me.
Spy is, yeah, I agree.
Smuggler is creeping up a bit.
But Smuggler's not much better.
You've got Solo, you've got the Saboteurs, I think, and you've got this girl, and you've got the new guy who can be cheeky with his rolling around, you know, the Alliance Smuggler. He can be an annoying little so-and-so, although, you know, he's very easy to kill and that, but you've got to just pin him down first, and these guys are dodging about all over the place. Irritating.
It's right. Well, it's there for a reason, isn't it?
They're dodgy, literally.
I'm hoping that they really kind of have a focus on, in this next wave especially, because there's a lot more kind of characters who are espionage based, and and they should kind of have a more focus on that.
There's a big Imperial wave of spies coming, isn't there? So we'll see what that brings.
I'm excited about what's going to happen in the near future.
Yeah.
I think it might really change up the meta, and if we can have more of this,
make spies more viable.
Because honestly, leader's always going to be a good keyword, but you know, to have such an imbalance is...
Leader is a real good support one, isn't it? You know, it's all about command cards, really. And
the imbalance kind of costs a game system at the end, doesn't it? So, but you know, in the unending wave to balance a game. Yeah, it's good. All right, let's talk about the command cards. First off, we've got Smugglers Tricks. This is a smuggler only card. It costs 1 point, and you can have one in your list. So, it costs an action. Choose a tile or token you are on or adjacent to. Until the start of the next round, your opponent counts as having one fewer figure on or adjacent to that tile or token. It's a really weird kind of...
oh, yeah, but it can be huge. Think of the scenarios, you know, where... Kuat space station, you know, if somebody's stretched and got down to that computer terminal.
I know. That's what I was kind of there for.
What's the range on it? Choose what?
Choose a tile or token you're adjacent to.
Adjacent to. That's the downfall of this card then. So you've got to be in the locale. Now here's an interesting one. Alright, I know Kuat space station has been decycled. But there's the scenario where you're both trying to open the door first, you know, to the little room at the top, and you've got to get down to the computer terminals in the middle or the bottom to do it. If she sneaks up to, or if somebody, a smuggler? Yeah. Sneaks adjacent to the tile, I think I've just took the wrong road.
Yeah, you did.
Never mind. If she sneaks adjacent to the tile and the bad guy's got one stormtrooper stood next to that terminal on that tile, and she says, right, you've got one less guy stood on that tile, can he control the terminal or not?
No, because you don't.
No, because he counts as not being there. Yeah. So that can, you know, and there's various little scenarios where control is important. There's the current one, the Nevanian War Zone, where you've got to be next to a droid at the end of a round to pick it up. I might be thinking of the wrong one here. It might be training ground, but you know, you've got to control it to seize the droid bit or whatever it is at the end of the round, and so on and so on.
One fewer, yeah.
One fewer, so it's a tricky one.
Well, when do numbers really matter?
It's because if they've only got one, then he counts as having 0. So then he can't control whatever it is. You know.
Yeah, but you know,
it's a very weird one.
These new layer maps are, you know, whoever controls the droids, you know, and this control zone.
So if she can get next to the droid and there's a stormtrooper stood the other side of it, she can say, "This droid, you count as not being standing next to it. You've one less," and so I can seize it. She can then seize it at some point, you know.
Yeah.
It's a stretch. How many points is it? 1
point. You have to be adjacent to it.
Very situational.
And I don't know.
Scenario it's based for scenario use. So what use you're going to get out of it is completely dependent on the scenario.
I think it's a very
whether you're awake enough to realise, you know, and.
I think it's a hard one to use.
It is very hard to use.
It's such a kind of like compared to Boba Fett's, you attack twice. It's kind of like great. I'm going to attack any time.
That's what he's. This isn't a character card, is it?
No, it's just a smuggler card.
This is all about the alliance smugglers who are just darting about and slowing the enemy down and messing them about.
My problem with this card, I think, is it costs an action. I think if it wasn't an action, it might be a lot more viable.
Yeah.
I think it's the action. As usual, I'm complaining with costing an action, but I think that's costing the action.
An action is costing you an attack or a move, isn't it? But
that's a hard thing to kind of...
Being as you've got to be adjacent, it's more than likely costing you an attack, because you're running up to something to do this.
It's doing a lot. I mean, luckily a lot of smugglers seem to have this kind of ability inherent that they're pretty good at moving, even when they're getting shot. You know, get shot, doesn't matter, I'll move a bit. You know, I don't know.
I mean, the only time you control a tile in skirmish is that Kuat space station that I've seen so far, and that's whoever's got the most figures in that little blue room at the top controls. I think I might be wrong there. It may be that.
Oh no, that's not that. Oh, is it? If Kuat space station, I thought that's a different one.
If there's what's the face, Jyn Odan, one rebel saboteur and a stormtrooper in that room, and she pulls that card, then the stormtrooper
counts as 0.
Contributes 0 control. Yeah. So then the rebs will control that tile.
Okay.
Slow, 1 point. I don't know. No, it's too expensive.
I think it's just the action that's the problem with it.
Yeah.
If it was 0. It doesn't cost an action at 0 points. I think it would actually be okay.
Yeah, even then you'd be like,
it's still a situation, but it's just the fact you have to have it on a smuggler as well.
No help in a straight up fight, which some of the scenarios are pretty much a straight up fight. Some aren't, some are.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be always going to be able to use it either.
So Smugglers Tricks, we're going to say, is a bit of a dud card. Next up, we got Smugglers Supplies, or Smuggled Supplies. Smuggler can use it. It costs 1 point. You can have one in your list. Smuggler only. Use at the start of your activation to recover 2 life. Apply +1 surge to your attack results until the end of the round, or apply +1 surge block to your defense results until the end of the round. Sorry, I read that a bit weird. It does one of them. Recover 2 life. Apply +1 surge to your attack, or +1 surge block to your defense results. What
else it cost?
1 point.
1 point. Again, it seems.
Actually, I quite like that. That's quite utility.
It is, but none of them are massive, are they? None of them are very big. What, +2 life?
+2 life, +1 surge, or +1 surge block.
Cancel.
But hang on, that on Jyn, if you put it on her and you know that she's in a bit of a gunfight, +1 surge block means that she automatically gets a +1 defense.
Well, yeah.
So she's awesome with that.
It's a good card for her, and especially if she's been shot a bit, you can just put the 2 life on.
I think that's...
yeah, it's good for her.
I think it's a good card, actually. You know?
Smuggler only, yeah.
I'm a fan of that. I haven't really paid that much attention to be honest, Pete and I aren't that experienced with the smuggler lists.
Not really, no.
I've used them a few times, but I've always found the command deck very hard to actually integrate into it.
Yeah, they're all it feels slightly weak to me.
Until I can...
It's probably fair enough for 1 point.
I think it's a good card, but until we actually have a list where I've actually gone, right, smuggler heavy, I'm going to find it very hard to justify it.
Is it any good with the other end of the extreme? It's Han Solo, isn't it? Is it any good on him? Not really. It's not using it doesn't cost an action. So yeah, it'd be okay on him, I guess. Nice to get a couple of life back always.
2 life. I'll tell you what, it's good for 2. This, you recover 2 life for nothing. That's amazing. Most cards are saying you had to go up and use an action to recover life. Even like your MHD or whatever, you had to go up and use an action to recover. This is like recover life and then carry on with the turn. Yeah. It's good. I actually quite like the utility about it too. Okay, I'm going to say I'm a fan of Smugglers Supplies. And the last card is 1 in a million. This is Jyn Odan's unique card. This is, it costs 2 points and you can have 1 in your list. Yeah. When you declare an attack, if it is not your activation, remove all dice from the target's defense pool. That's awesome. Yeah, but it's not going to be your activation, so it's going to be a special interrupt. Mind you, she interrupts all the time, doesn't she? Yeah, because she has her hair trigger. Yeah. So this is really built in with that. That is amazing. That's good for the Royal Guard champ, isn't it? Oh, as soon as people are thinking, yeah, I'm going to go and I'll activate this person to shoot you. No, you won't, and no, you don't get any dice. Yeah. Well, for the most part. We are well lost, so. Oh, good man. Just to let you know. Yeah, so we are just huge fans of this. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's really good. Nasty threat. There's a little Jyn Odan. I'm going to rip it to pieces. Oh no, you're not. Because I'm going to shoot you, and I'm going to. What else does it do? Remove it. Remove your white die. Or remove whatever. All dice from the defense. All dice. Oh god. Yeah, that's good. That is so good. Yeah, nice one. So you take her, you take this card, definitely, I think. That is brilliant. Right, okay, we take that. The model? I like it. She's got her gun up, she's kind of kneeling down. Kneeling down, yeah. She's, I think there's a couple that are kneeling down now, which is a disappointment, but she was the original one first, and yeah, I painted mine. It's good. She's got like rebel orange colours in the official colour scheme. And she's quite cool. She's a cool character. I never feel that, you know, when I see my opponent has her, I never actually feel like, oh, I should be scared of her. But I probably should be more scared. You sort of smirk to yourself and think, oh, got it. Yeah, you know, here we go. Is it the 2 green dice or something? The tricks. It's the tricks and the rolling around and dodging out the way. And yeah, I think I've learned how to avoid that though. Yeah, well you do after a bit. She's been out, you know. Yeah. She's as old as the game is, so. But she's a good character. I don't know. I like her. In a rogues gallery, definitely. I want to take her more often, I think. Anyway, cheers for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Alright, cheerio. See ya. Bye.